Ah, yes, it's that time of the year. The UFC is headed back to Etihad Arena in Abu Dhabi, and it will serve home to a heavyweight main event. Tom Aspinall is no longer the interim champ. He is your undisputed champion. He is looking for his first title defense against Ciryl Gane. We also got a strawweight title bout against Virna Jandiroba and Mackenzie Dern. Hello, everybody. Brett Okamoto alongside our gambling expert, Ian Parker. We are here to talk about UFC 321 from a betting perspective. But first, we will look at how we did at UFC Fight Night last week in Vancouver. We're looking for some green. Did you deliver, Mr. Parker, last week in Vancouver?
Yeah, happy with Vancouver. It treated us well. We had a profitable night. Even though big Dan Miragliotta tried to go the other way between Kyle Nelson and Holland, it didn't matter. We hit. It's a hobby with our premium play. Great night. Let's go on to this week and carry into 2 weeks in a row.
All right, winning 3.2 units last week, and now we're looking for more over there in Abu Dhabi. You got Tom Aspinall taking on Ciryl Gane. This one taking place 2 Eastern, 11 Pacific, by the way, main card on ESPN. Tom Aspinall, no stranger to long odds, and that is the case once again. 4-1 favorite over Ciryl Gane. How are you looking to play the main event, Tom Aspinall's first undisputed heavyweight title defense?
Well, look, if you're going to play this one, I think you're going to have to play certain props, maybe even go with a Tom Aspinall round one, see if he can keep that streak going. Because, look, on the feet, Ciryl Gane may be the better technical striker, kickboxer, physical athlete, very, very good there. But where he lacks, and it's very obvious, is on the ground. Even though he went to Dagestan, he trained for a little bit, it doesn't mean all of a sudden he's going to stuff takedowns or he's going to be this world-class grappler, because he's going against a world-class grappler who can match him in the athleticism, who might be faster. And with Aspinall's power on the feet, all it takes is one shot to set up that ground game, and we've seen him do it so many times. So, Brett, he's going to be the anchor of our parlay inside the distance, but if you want to play him by knockout, you're going to get, I think it's a -105. If you want to take him by sub, you're getting plus odds, but I would say go with Tom Aspinall to win in rounds 1 or 2 if you're going to play one of those props, and I think he gets it done.
Yeah, I mean, the guy is putting guys away in a record-setting fashion. He is the shortest average fight time in UFC history. His last 3 fights all taking place, I believe, under 70 seconds. Maybe one of them creeped up to 73, if I'm not mistaken. No, I think it was 60, 63, and 69. So maybe you want to take a shot on a first-round finish by Tom Aspinall. Ciryl Gane, of course, looking to have it go a little bit differently than when he fought John Jones for the Undisputed Heavyweight Championship back a couple years ago. Let's move on to the co-main event. It's Virna Jandiroba taking on Mackenzie Dern. Mackenzie Dern, the odds on her actually creeping up a little bit. She's up to -155. What do you think of this fight for the vacant 105-pound title, Ian?
For me, I think the value here is in Virna Jandiroba. On the ground, she matches Dern's world-class jiu-jitsu. On the feet, I think Jandiroba is the better striker. She's got better head movement. And Mackenzie Dern, although the striking has improved, she gets hit a lot. She does not wear the damage well. And as the rounds goes on and she can't get the fight to the floor, she gets sloppy and she throws wild. And Jandiroba actually has become a pretty good counter striker who, with her grappling, it's there. The cardio is there. And she's been on a very impressive run, beating Yan Shinan, beating Amanda Lemos, beating Lupi Goines, who also Dern beat. I think the level of competition she's fought recent should count for something. I'm actually a little confused why the odds are where they're at, so I'm going to go with the dog here in Jandiroba to get the win.
Okay, so we're taking the dog at +130. I agree with you. I think that this is a very, very competitive fight, so it's either dog or pass for me. And at +130, especially as that line continues to tick up, maybe worth a look at Virna Jandiroba. Let's look at the rest of your best bets, and we'll actually start with your premium play. We go to the featherweight division. Jose Miguel Delgado is a -150 favorite against Nathaniel Wood, and you like Delgado at -150.
I really do here. Look, Delgado, I think, is a special fighter. He's as blue chip as a prospect as you're going to get. What he did in his last fight was nothing short of fantastic. Now, Nathaniel Wood also looked good here, but I think this is where the youth plays a factor, where the athleticism plays a factor. So I'm going with Delgado as my favorite play in the entire card. I think the odds should be a little bit higher. I think we're getting him at this number because Wood's coming off a win and Delgado hasn't been in the UFC that long. Let's go with Delgado here as the premium play.
All right, so as the premium play, that is your favorite pick on the card, but you got several more for us. The next one is at 205 pounds. It's Alexander Rakic taking on Azamat Murzakanov. Of course, Alexander, we're looking at as a big-time player at 205, hasn't come together quite in a big way for him, and you think he's still going to be searching here against Mirzakhanov?
Yeah, you know what? I've never really been a big Rakic guy because he just hasn't been able to put it together. And if he can't strike from a distance, he really doesn't win. We've seen the cardio fall off. We saw it against Yuri Prochazka. I think Aspinall Mirzakhanov gets that distance real quick. He gets in up close personal and he lays Rakic out. Give me Mirzakhanov to get the upset here. The size difference scares me a little bit. Asmat's not afraid, neither am I.
Okay, I like that. We're getting very specific there. Look, hunting the knockout there by Azamat Mirzakhanov. Let's go to the lightweight division. Nasrat Haqparast taking on Keon Saklid, and he is a -115 favorite. Very, very competitive fight at 155 pounds. And you like the small favorite here.
I do, because the difference here is the grappling and the ground game of Saklid compared to Nasrat Haqparast, who's a very good kickboxer, whose takedown defense has gotten better, but off his back, no threat of jiu-jitsu whatsoever and no offensive wrestling. -115. I'm going with Saklid here. I believe he gets the win and continues that winning streak in the UFC.
And your next play, staying in the 155-pound division, I feel like these are two guys that we have actually bet on before. We've been on both of these guys, Ludovic Klein and Mateusz Rebecki. So I was curious to see which side you were picking, but you're not. You're taking the over at -150.
Well, look, I was going to go with Ludovic Klein because I do believe that his takedown defense, keeping the fight standing, he's the better striker, while Rebecki off his back, good arm bars. He's got a lot of power here. However, these guys have kind of become a little bit more of decision machines, both very durable here. I'm going over 2.5 rounds. If you want a better price, I think this fight's going to go all 3. If you want a prop, I wouldn't be shocked if Klein won by decision.
All right, and so for our final best bet for me and Parker at UFC 321, we head to the heavyweight division with a fan favorite, Chris Barnett. He's a big underdog, as he sometimes often is coming into these fights, but you're not betting against him. You're taking the over of -185.
Yeah, listen, both these guys tend to go the distance. Hamdy's been a decision guy, and I don't see him putting Barnett out unless he takes him down right away. But he hasn't really gone to his wrestling where he's known for. He stands and bangs, and Barnett's going to come out there, look to have fun. I think this fight's going to go into the 3rd round, over 1.5. We're going to go with that in this one.
Okay, so that takes care of all of our best bets. We have not talked about a pretty important fight on this card, and that is 135 pounds. Umar Nurmagomedov taking on Mario Batista. Nurmagomedov, a big-time favorite here at -700. You do not have a play on this one as terms of a side or a total, but you do have a prop of the night at UFC 321. Where are we going here in this 135-pound fight?
Yeah, for me, this is going to be Umar getting back on track after his last loss, going against someone Batista, who's coming off a win against Patchy Mix, where I think that might have been overvalued because we've kind of seen how Patchy has really underperformed since he's been in the UFC here. But for me, Umar gets this done. He wins by decision, goes back to the wrestling, and I think that's where we see it go. The number is where it's at for a reason. It's hard to picture him finishing Batista, but I do see him grappling him for 3 rounds.
Well, so maybe that's a rematch that we'll see in January with the way Merab Donishvili is fighting. He's going to fight in December. If he wins, maybe he'll be asking for Umar Nurmagomedov in January. Meanwhile, for us, we'll go to the long shot parlay at UFC 321. You got a 3-teamer for us.
Let's go with the Iron Turtle by decision. He's a big underdog here. So how does he win, Brett? He uses that cardio, that durability to get past round 1, and he wrestles, takes the back, holds it there. Walter Walker by heel hook, and Amorim probably wins by an armbar or triangle. 2 submissions and a decision, plus 3073. Let's go.
Yes, sir. 30-1 on a 3-teamer doesn't sound too bad to me for the long shot parlay. How about Parker's parlay for UFC 321?
This one I'm very confident, although quite chalky, quite ugly, but if it wins, it wins. Give me Aspinall inside the distance. Umar, Azat Maxim, and Amorim all on the money line at plus 120. Let's go.
Yep, let's go. And let's do it early in the morning on Saturday. You got ESPN prelims at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific, and then, of course, the main card, but that starts at a special time, 2 Eastern, 11 Pacific. Hopefully, we made you a little bit smarter, put a little bit more money in those pockets on Saturday. Enjoy the fights, and we'll see you next time on UFC Best Bets.